Here we are with Mom, or as some of you know her, Carol from the Old Tattered Flag. Mom, I want to learn how to rug hook. What do I need?
You need to have a good hook, which there are a lot on the market. You have to find one that's comfortable for you, whether it goes in the center of your hand or whether you hold it like a pencil. This is my hook. This is my favorite hook. I hold it like a pencil. So you need a hook. You need a good pair of small scissors so you can trim up your edges fine. You need a base, so you're going to either have linen, which looks like burlap, but it's not. It's linen. Or you need monk's cloth. I prefer monk's cloth because that's what I prefer. It's totally up to you what you prefer.
Now, that monk's cloth where do you get that?
You can get it at a rug hooking store. You cannot get it at Joann's because the monk's cloth they sell at Joann's is a much larger weave and it will frustrate you no end.
Okay, and when you say linen, you said it looks like burlap, but there's also linen that people use for clothing.
Right, this is a primitive linen, and as you can see, the weave is tight.
This is specifically made for rug hooking?
Rug hooking, yes. Okay, then you need a frame. So you can use a hoop like this. A little bit frustrating because you're going to put a lot of pressure on, so it may slip a bit. You can use a Morgan hoop, which will hold it tighter and will give you the look you're looking for. Or you can use a frame. And as you can tell, my frame has been well used. My frame is a spinner frame, but there's all kinds of frames. There's flat frames, spinner frames, frame stands. But the basic is you need something to hold the material tight. You need the material, you need a hook, and you need the wool cut into strips.
And I think you might need a dog next to you in your chair.
Maybe.
All right, let's get started.
My material, so I'm going to use the monk's cloth. So I'm going to center it on my frame. I'm going to be starting here. So I'm going to pull this, so you see me pulling it nice and tight, so that when I'm done, it's like a drum top. So my next thing that I'm going to do is I'm going to get my wool strips, which this is a number 8, which is a 1/4 inch. We'll get into this more about the width of strips. Then I'm going to grab my hook, and this is my hook. I'm holding it in my hand like this with this shank part away from me. I'm left-handed, so I'm going to start here in the corner. I'm going to put it into the hole. So I've pushed it down, and I'm going to take the wool strip, and I'm going to put it underneath, and I'm going to pull it up. Then I'm going to skip a hole because I don't want to go too tight. So I'm going to skip a hole. I'm pushing it back down. I'm wrapping the shank around the wool. I'm not grabbing the wool. I'm wrapping the shank around the wool. I'm using my other hand to guide me.
With your other hand underneath, are you kind of placing the wool on the hook?
Yes, and my fingers, if you'll notice, are right up close to this material. I can feel my fingers right there.
So though it looks like Mom is twisting, she's really not. That's just the way
scooping.
she scoops the wool. She's entering the hook into the material.
And on this particular piece, I'm trying to go right on the line. I don't want to go off the line. I want to keep it right straight across.
We're going to go underneath. She's hooking from the top. She's hooking from left to right. Do you have to hook from left to right?
If you're left-handed, that helps. Or if you're right-handed, you're going to go right to left. Because you never want your wool in front of you.
Or if you're like me, you go from top to bottom.
To bottom, yes.
You've got to find your comfort zone.
Right. So now I'm going to put another piece in. So I want to put that other piece right into where I left off with this loop. These loops always come up to the top. So I'm going to put it in the same hole. I'm going to pull it up. Now I'm going to continue. As you can see, I'm trying to stay right on that line right there. I'm trying to stay right in the holes. So I'm scooping my wool. I'm skipping a hole between each one. I'm pushing my hook down. I'm scooping up the wool as one hand is helping the hook. My fingers are right up to the top of my monk's cloth so that there's nothing in between, so that I'm not twisting it. If you leave a big space between and you're trying to pull it, you can twist it. I am pulling my last loop up to the top. Okay, I'm not quite to the end of my pattern, so I'm going to push this back down into that hole where the same one is right there. 2 in the same hole. There's a hole here, and there's a hole here. I'm getting a little bit tight. I'm going to skip a hole. I'm going to pull that up.
So you don't fill every hole.
No. Now I'm right here and I'm at the end, and I'm going to pull it up and I'm going to snip it. Now I'm going to take all of these that are here, my little scissors, I'm going to snip it. I'm going to snip, and I'm going to snip. Hopefully these are pretty even.
Or you can snip that one.
This is what you've pretty much done. Okay.
Okay, now what do you do?
So now I would start another row. Now, there's several ways to do this. If I was framing this, I'm going to, because of my frame, I can turn my frame. And I can put this other one right in that hole right there.
Was that the same hole as the first
Same
strip?
hole as the first strip.
Okay.
Then I'm coming down, skipping a couple of holes now between because it's tightening up. You can see I'm just grabbing the wool underneath. I'm not stabbing it, I'm scooping it. And I'm trying to stay right on the line right there. I don't want to go off the line. Now, if I was doing a flower or something, I'm going to follow the line, but I'm not going to be going straight. Now I'm almost at the end again. So now I would put my next one in here, and I would continue down to here.
So you're squaring off your outer edge.
Right.
If you had had something drawn in the center of your design, you would not be doing this right now.
I would be doing what's in the middle.
You would be starting in the
Yes.
middle. So for instance, if you had a heart drawn right here,
Yep.
how would you start your heart?
Say my heart was here. I would start it right in the middle part here, and I would work around and come down. And I would go to the other side, and I'd work around and come down. And I would do that for 4 or 5 rows. Then I might do it however I want, anywhere around.
So this is Rug Hooking 101 Express Pulling Loops. Come back for another video showing you how to work on your subject matter, and for other videos on finishing, color planning, the right hook, etc. Thank you for joining us today.